Are you exhausted every time you wake up? Are you struggling to make time for yourself? Would you like a 2-month vacation right now? You're not alone. Let's talk about it. Hey beauties, welcome back to IMB, the place where we talk about business, beauty, and becoming your best self. We're your hosts, India and Micah, and today we're talking about something really serious. We're talking about how to keep running your business while dealing with anxiety, depression, and the constant pressure to keep hustling. We all go through it, but let's get into it. So let's review a few stories and talk about what it takes to be our best selves while we run these businesses.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to take better care of yourself. If you are in the beauty industry and you are experiencing burnout, I would like you to listen to this. My name is Jocelyn. I am a lash and brow artist, and I have been in this industry since 2017. I run my own schedule, my own social media. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. I'm not looking to change my career, but I did make some pivots in my career so I can enjoy it more and I can enjoy it longer. I started experiencing burnout probably post-COVID. It just felt like people were just taking from me. And as an individual, I have boundaries in my life with friendships and relationships, but I started looking at boundaries within my business. I know that a lot of us joke around about this, but you need a lunch. You need time put away for yourself so that you can take a breather, so that you can go outside and walk, you can grab something to eat, you can grab some water and go pee. When people say, I can't do that, I'm so busy. The only person keeping you busy is yourself or even the salon, but there's no reason why you can't cut out 30 minutes for yourself throughout your day. Make a point that is 30 minutes that is non-negotiable. If someone says that's the only day they can come, well, too bad, it's booked, and it's booked by you. This became increasingly important to me when I learned that I had stress-induced alopecia, and the stress-induced alopecia was due to a variety of factors that happened to all culminate at the same time. The point is this. Your time and your health and your body are all resources that are constantly being used, and you cannot pay to have that back. There is 100% an art in saying no. You don't have to come in earlier for anyone. You don't have to come in later for anyone. If that client wants to see you, they will come when you are available. The moment you start seeing yourself as a high-value commodity, your clients will start seeing you the same. We all have bills to pay, and the more money, the better. But I'm telling you, the moment that you get an accountant, you start planning for your financial future, your retirement, you are going to experience so much more peace.
All right, so how do you feel about that?
With that video, I 100% can relate, especially the part where she was talking about she started getting like the alopecia, because I don't think people realize that stress really does affect your body, whether it's an immediate part or whether it's not an immediate part. I didn't necessarily get alopecia, but I did go through a situation where I started developing scalp psoriasis because I was so stressed. Like it triggered that within my body, and honestly, it was a lot to deal with. Getting better now, but I think that she made some really good points as far as when you are in hustle mode, when you are in grind mode. Obviously, it's going to be about the money. We all need money. We all have to pay our bills. We all are working towards things, whether that's savings, trying to take trips, trying to pay for clothes, like whatever you're trying to do, invest. But with hustle culture, the issue becomes when you are not prioritizing yourself because you are the person doing the work. And so when you're not taking those few minutes to eat lunch, when you're not drinking enough water throughout your day, when you're not prioritizing your health, or you're overworking yourself to the extent of sleep deprivation and peace, obviously you will see the money, and that can be a reward in your mind, but that's not a very sustainable reward, because the moment that those effects start showing up, those long-term effects, those health effects, you're gonna crash out. And that's just the truth. I think that when we get into that hustle mode, it's easy to keep it going for a certain extended period of time, and I will acknowledge that at times we do have to, it just has to be that way. But like she said, if there's like 3 moments where you could do, or 3 minutes where you could do some breathing exercises, or prioritizing drinking your water, making sure that you take a lunch, it's best for you to schedule that throughout your day, just so even in those busier seasons, you're not feeling too overwhelmed. And I know it's super hard because I struggle with that. When I have very busy periods of my life, it's kind of like I feel too overwhelmed to do anything. Even though, say I do have like an extra 10 minutes, or I do have an extra 3 minutes, instead of like doing a breathing exercise or even just checking in with myself, I'm just kind of maybe like just scrolling on social media, or just caught in my thoughts in my head about like how stressed I am. And so I do feel like people, especially in the beauty industry where it's more customer service based, and you're giving out not only your personality, you're giving out your hands, your work, everything is produced by you. It's just important that you give back to yourself, because you're the only person that can do it.
I would definitely say it seems like the money is a reward, but you have to realize that it's also going to come with some type of sacrifice every single time. And you have to realize that you're a finite individual. Like, eventually your energy will give out. Eventually you will, like India said, crash and burn. I feel like we've all been there. If you haven't, you're God's favorite. But I definitely have experienced my seasons of burnout, and it's definitely not easy to bounce back from, especially after multiple seasons of burnout. It's harder to come back from it. So it's best to just schedule those days, like she said, ahead of time, so you don't even get to that point. I think the best advice in this situation, like she mentioned in the video, is to outsource at this point. So she said she outsourced her accountant, but I believe she can take it even further. She can outsource her social media. She can outsource every single thing she does not want to do, except for the things she actually wants to do. So if she only wants to take 5 clients a day, that's all she should do. She should only take 5 clients a day. She should outsource her social media. She should outsource her marketing. She should outsource her accounting. She said she could outsource her cleaning at this point. Everything can be outsourced. People can come by the salon and clean it. And I think that, even though it seems like a lot of money at the time, it's an investment back into yourself, and it saves your time, and it saves your energy, and it just saves your resources. And so I think the best thing you can do in these situations, of course, it takes finances to start putting that in, but I wouldn't wait till I'm a millionaire to start trying to outsource. I would just see where I could fit things in my budget, and I would go from there.
And just to kind of piggyback off what Micah said, that was the main motivation for us to start our business. Mm-hmm. For those of you who don't know, we have a virtual assistant and social media management agency for beauty professionals only. And we started that business because we felt like us ourselves as former beauty professionals, we knew how much it took to not only produce your services, so having to see your clients, but we also knew how much it took to actually do those back-end business services, like talking to your clients, responding to DMs, posting on your social media, even doing like client disputes, like if there's an issue or anything like that. We just knew how much energy, additional energy that takes, aside from everything that you have to do already. And so we understand you all, and we work with beauty professionals every day to help alleviate those problems off their plate. It is an investment, but it's that type of investment where you are genuinely seeing return, because your day is not as busy and you're not bogged down with things that honestly you probably don't even want to do. Yeah. Like, most likely if you're a nail tech, you really love the nails, but having to do, unless you really love social media, having to do that part and be consistent on it may take up too much time in your schedule. And so if you all are interested in having a consultation with us to talk about how we can benefit your business, please email us. We'll put the email on the screen. Please email us, and we'll be excited to talk to you all. You can also visit our store link in the description in our bio, just to check out our menu. But for that more personalized experience, please email us.
Being lazy, we need to shower, we have to get up, stop being lazy.
If a person is working 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and they can't find a time to go do self-care where they do something for themselves, that in itself is a toxic relationship with yourself. no amount of Botox or fillers or lasers is going to improve the quality of life of that person. I mean, I felt very strongly about it, and I feel like if you work evenings and you take that time away from your family and your friends, that either means that you're not happy with the people that are around you, and it's an escape. And we see that all the time. People who work, 15, 16 hours a day, they make a lot of money. It's just not a good lifestyle and not sustainable for a happy person. And so I don't want our employees to be less happy, less fulfilled, because that means that they will bring that to work. And so I want them to have a break. I don't want them working late hours, because that takes their time away from home and self-care at home.
So, what were your thoughts about what the doctor said?
The first thing I wanted to mention is that the doctor said like 5 days a week, 40 hours a day. That is not a business owner schedule. That's a 9 to 5. And he's saying that you should do that with a 9 to 5.
He said that the 40 hours, 5 days was too much, basically.
Too much.
Like, you're stressing yourself out. However,
you're losing it at that point.
we work like 100 hours a week.
7
days a week.
We stopped counting the hours.
Yeah.
We stopped counting the hours. And so I feel like with other beauty professionals, hairstylists, makeup artists, nail techs, tattoo artists, lash techs, if you're running your own salon, even your own salon suite, you're putting way more than 40 hours in a week. That is just
Inevitable.
completely inevitable, which knocks down even more what he is saying. He's saying that even that amount is stressful, and it's not good for you to be a happy person if you're not doing your self-care at home, if you're not taking time for yourself. And so the fact that we have to do more as business owners, you really have to be on it. You really have to be intentional when setting up this self-care time. So it's like, I mean, whenever you can set up, whenever you know your slower days are, if you don't have slower days, you need to schedule some. That's just what it takes. Like, you have to be intentional. That's the word, intentional, with yourself, because you will eventually, again, burn out. We're talking about burnout. And you might have this engine to go, for, let's say, 10 years. Right. You're going to experience burnout for another 10 years. Because that's what that does to your body. You're wearing and tearing on your body. You don't drive a car over and over and over again. Don't get no oil change. Don't get no gas. It breaks down. Mm-hmm. And that's a car. This is the only body that we have. So you have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your mind. You just have to take care of yourself, because, again, we're in an industry and we run businesses that are... You can do somebody's lashes at like 2 a.m. depending on your client, especially if you have celebrity clients. So you just have to make sure you are scheduling that time for yourself, scheduling that time for your family, scheduling that time for all of the rest that you need. I read a book last year. It's like 7 creative things of rest. I have to plug the book in. I'll probably put a screenshot on the screen, but you can rest in social ways, creative ways, mental ways, physical ways, emotional ways. Like, it's so many ways to rest, and you have to make sure you're checking in with yourself and saying, hey, did I get the rest here? Did I get the rest here? Do I actually need to go out and just spend some time with friends? Do I need to go spend some time with family? Like he said, if you don't want to spend time with family or friends, you might be using it as an escape. And at that point, you might need to spend some time with your therapist. Right. Either way, you do need to take time for yourself. And I think, as, again, said before, business owners, you need to take even more time for yourself, because you have a lot of hats on, and you will crash and you will burn, guaranteed, if you don't start taking them off. How do you feel?
I think the biggest thing that stood out to me when he was talking was just about how with working so much, it can honestly make you kind of not like your work. Mm-hmm. If you're working, you're not taking time for yourself, because it feels like you're dedicating so much into your work. And we all started our businesses for some reason. We obviously love some element of what we do. However, when you become overwhelmed, you become too stressed out, and you're not taking that time to rest in whatever way. Like Micah said, there's multiple ways, but it can feel like work is a trap. Mm-hmm. And we didn't start this to feel that way. We started it because, for one, we're business owners. We wanted freedom. And overworking yourself, being too stressed out, that's not freedom.
No.
You can honestly be so passionate about nails, but in turn hate what you do on a day-to-day just because you feel so overwhelmed and overworked. And that's not the point. The point is for us to find meaning in our work, to find meaning in our personal lives, and to be able to balance out the two. And when you're not able to create that balance for whatever reason, whether you feel like in this season you have to make more money, or whether you feel like you're trying to just scale up, or whatever that case is, but it's like it comes at a detriment to the love that you have for something that you once started off being so passionate about. And I think the biggest thing is because being a business owner already is so hard.
Yeah.
It's hard physically, emotionally, mentally, financially. Every aspect of it is not that easy. But what makes it harder is when you stop finding and seeing that reason as to why you even do it. And so I think that, your why. And I think that, like, being so burnt out, being so stressed out, you easily lose track of that. And it's something that, like, you could crash your whole ship doing something like that. Like, you will literally not want to book appointments. You will not give good customer service. You will not be cleaning up how you usually would clean up your studio. You would just stop doing things that you normally do that you cared about, like going the extra mile, because you're too burnt out. And the thing is, in this world, that makes all the difference. So you can tell people who are doing it just for the money, and you could tell people who are doing it because they like it. And sometimes those lines can get very blurred when you're overly stressed. So you have to take the time for yourself, because your business is your baby, but you are also your baby.
If you are a beauty pro that is struggling to stay on schedule or track your time, this might be a reason that you are coming off as unprofessional. But don't worry, we got you. Grab our free time-saving strategy download in the description. It is designed to help you manage your time, stay organized, and show up like a true professional. Take the first step towards better boundaries and a smoother business. Trust me, your future self and your clients will thank you. And also, join our private beauty community on Instagram. It's a space where we talk about money, mindset, business, and beauty, of course. The links are in the description below. Join us now. We would love to meet you.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Jaquard. And I want to come on here and just to really kind of give you a little insight of where I've been and what I've been doing. Yes, I have just really kind of started back posting content because I was experiencing a lot of stress and a lot of burnout that just came out of nowhere. I think it's just the simple fact of the matter is I was overworking myself. I was trying to build my business, build this brand, and I had to take a step back. I had to refocus, rejuvenate, everything. And just kind of home in on the things that's really important to me right now in this season of my life. So no, I'm not stopping to do hair, but I am refocusing. I am redirecting myself in a different path. Just like this haircut that I'm doing, I am giving somebody something different, which brought me a lot of joy. Honestly, y'all. Sorry, I got a little tongue tied, but I like when clients come in and say, "Hey, I want something different." Thank you to those clients that want something different and don't want the same thing every time, because that really helps the people who are creatives still stay in the game, still try something different, and still work on their skills. So when in doubt, when you with your stylist, please try something different. Step outside your box, okay? Have a great day.
All right. So how did you feel about that one?
With what he said, I think the biggest takeaway here is just to know that at any point in time, you can change what you're doing. And so if you're so used to having a certain amount of appointments per week, or you're so used to how you operate your day per day, if you at any point start looking around and start feeling like this is not working for me, you are the person that holds that power to be like, you know what, let me make a plan. Let me see, maybe I shouldn't take X amount of appointments per day or X amount of appointments per week. Maybe I do need to start doing something different with my daily routine to incorporate more self-care. And so I just think that when we're hustling, a lot of times we get stuck into whatever cycle it is that we're on. But you just got to understand, babe, you got free will. So you, at any point in time, if something is not working, and honestly, that goes to any area of your life. If the finances are not working, if the appointments are not working, if the man is not working, sometimes you just gotta say goodbye. And I think that that's just so important to understand that you are the person in charge of how you operate your life, and you are the only person that can make those changes into redirection. Sometimes life will take you down certain paths where you're forced to redirect, but times where you are not being forced to redirect and you are the person actively making the choices, you have to be the person to say, okay, hold on, this is too much, or okay, hold on, maybe I need to do a little bit more here.
Okay. The two things that stood out to me is that he said he had to take a step back from social media. And I think that is what we talked about earlier, how he didn't say he took a step back from doing hair. He was still doing hair. He just said he took a step back from social media, which shows that that is a whole nother job. You know what I mean? That can burn you out. And that is like what India said, why we started our business, because you can get burned out doing all of these jobs. It's already, if you don't like if you don't like numbers, you're already looking at your finances like, I don't know how to really even sit down and do this budget. If you're looking at social media and you don't know how to do social media, you're already like, I don't know how to do the marketing and the outreach that I need to do to even scale this business. Most stylists just want to do their activity, you know. And so he had to take a step back. He was getting burnt out because you have to do your activity plus so much more. And I noticed that he said that he had to stop posting because he was burnt out. And again, if you need help, you need services, we're here for you. Just reach out and we got you. The second thing that I heard him say is at the end of the story, or the end of the reel, where he talked about telling the clients to try new things. And that's the creative rest. That's what we talked about earlier as well. He needed, because he's right. We're in this beauty industry, specifically in the beauty industry. We're all creatives. We all can create, different nail styles, different lash styles, different hairstyles. And if everybody is getting the same thing, which is totally fine, because you obviously have your normal people doing normal things, but you also want, if you are in love with doing new styles and new creations, it can burn you out, because you get in this cycle of just doing the same thing, and you already in your mind need something creative. And so I love that he said that he pushed people or encouraged clients to help their stylists out and bring like new ideas and like fun things to do, because as beauty professionals, you do want to do creative things. I mean, it's really nice to get, like right now in nails, the French tip is the thing right now, but like realistically, French tip is not creative. What's creative is when you look at somebody's nails and they have different coats on each nail, and they have 3D sculptures on there, and they have all of these gems with the beautiful placement. That is the creative things that get certain people going. Some people have hand painted nails that brings certain creatives alive, and if they're not getting that, it can actually kill off certain creatives. And so that is a great thing to that he noticed about himself. He needs that creative outlet, and he has to find some creative rest in that. So I think that is very important. I'm glad that he recognized that for himself.
So now that we've watched those videos and gave our opinions, we're going to lead into giving you some warning signs of burnout. So if you're seeing these signs in your life, please know you need to do something ASAP.
Yes. And
after that, we'll follow up with some practical steps of how you can implement self-care into your daily routine. So signs of burnout. Number 1, fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. If you're noticing that when you go to sleep and you wake up, you're still tired, that is a number 1 sign that you are being burnt out. Number 2, detachment or lack of passion. As we talked about earlier, knowing that you are passionate about your business, if you start to see lack of passion in your business or in your personal life, those are for sure warning signs that you are being burnt out. Number 3, irritability or constant overwhelm. This one speaks for itself. If you are irritated and agitated on a day-to-day, especially by things that normally don't agitate you, you are most likely burnt out. All right, let's go into the practical steps of how to implement self-care into your daily routine. Number 1, set client boundaries. Say no without guilt. Number 2, take tech breaks. Even 30 minutes of no phone helps. Number 3, therapy or journaling. Number 4, creating a support circle, mentors or other beauty pros. Also know that we do have a private beauty community for beauty professionals that you can join, where we support each other. We talk about business, finances, personal life, pretty much anything. And so you can find support within our group. Go to the description to get the information to join.
That's all we have for you today, beauties. If you love this episode, make sure you tag us on all socials at IMBeautyUSA and share your biggest takeaway. Meet us in the comments. Let us know how you feel about this video. We are a community and we want to hear from you. At the end of each episode, we either leave you with a word of encouragement, announcements, or shout outs. Today, we will leave you with a word of encouragement. Hey, beauties. If you're feeling burnt out right now, I want you to know that you're not alone. This economy is testing all of us. And trying to run a business while staying creative, consistent, and confident can feel very overwhelming. But I want to remind you that the fire in you is greater than the pressure around you. You've already proven your strength by showing up, by building something out of nothing, and by choosing to keep going, even when it's hard. So take a deep breath, rest if you need to, make sure you refill your cup, because your business needs the best version of you. Not a perfect one, just a present one. You're allowed to pause, you're allowed to ask for help, and you're definitely allowed to dream again. Keep going, not because it's easy, but because you're worth every ounce of success you're working for. You've got this, and we're in it together.
All right, if there's a topic that you would like us to discuss, or if you would like to submit a story time video to us, drop it in the comments or send us a DM. We would love to hear from you, and we love it when our community helps us to form videos for our channel. We love you, beauties, and we'll see you on the next episode. Until next time, stay beautiful and stay informed.